boy in the Amazon jungle. A brown boy, not a black boy. And someone is scraping my thigh with the teeth of the Piranha 50, changed my blood to white blood. August 30th, 1954. The U.S. Supreme Court decreed a ceremonial dance to be racially desegregated with all deliberate speed. Wednesday, August 30th, 1954. The U.S. Supreme Court decreed a ceremonial dance to be racially desegregated with all deliberate speed.
Gave me the idea to have a bird, beautiful, white, coming down the water. A crocodile attacks it, smashes it, starts eating another crocodile, fights this crocodile, and they go crazy over that big white bird. And they're bleeding, and I want to follow the bleed downstream to a school of piranha. They taste the blood, and I follow them right back, no cuts. And they attack the two crocodiles. And as within 30 seconds to a minute, they are reduced to skeletons. Another white bird comes and flies over and grabs the piranha and flies off with it. That's man eat man. That's animal eat man. You know, damn it, Jim. My hunch is right and yours is wrong. My hunch is they're going to buy it.
Nah, it never works, Sam.
It's gotta work.
Come on, that was 40 years ago. They don't even remember who the hell you are.
We've got to take a crack at it.
Sam, I think you're on crack, man.
Ah.
So, Sam, now you're telling me you don't want to stay in Rio. We just got here. We just got off the plane 2 hours ago.
Rio is not the surprise.
It's great here. Copacabana Palace, the beach.
Just I told you, it's not the surprise.
Sam, what's the story? So you took some pictures of some people 40 years ago.
And I told you my hunch is they'll remember me. Remember that?
Yeah.
Ah.
So how are you going to find these people?
We. You and me.
We?
Mm-hmm. By boat.
By boat?
Yes, by boat.
We're going by boat?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're talking.
Mm-hmm.
By boat.
Hey, Jim! Jim! How do you like that?
Sam, come on, what is this? You said we were taking a boat.
This'll take us to the boat. Perfectly okay.
It's a goddamn prop plane.
Two props.
Yeah, well, man, it's like you're Charles Lindbergh or something.
Yeah. He only had one.
Sam, tell me the truth. I mean, what's going on here? Are we going, is this some old flame of yours, some romantic thing?
Listen, my friend, you'll find out. Let's board.
Sam had told me that he had come to Brazil in the 50s because of some project, a film that was never made. Now he had returned to Brazil because he wanted to relive these memories, but I had no idea where he was taking me. Do you feel at home here?
No, I don't feel at home at all. Everything here is strange to me. Remember Rip Van Winkle fell asleep for 20 years, went back to his town?
Yeah.
Anything changed? I was away 40 years, for Christ's sakes. What the hell's the matter with you? There was nothing out here when I came here? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Come on.
There's not much here now, Sam.
But the only thing they couldn't change is the river. You see, that's one thing. That's it, Araguaia. They can't change that river. They can't change the women there beating the hell out of clothes and washing them. They can't change the families around there singing and having fun. That's what they haven't changed, and that's what I love this place.
Sam, what the hell's that way out there?
The River of the Dead.
Wait a minute. River of the Dead? Is that the surprise? River of the Dead. River of the Dead?
Actually, it's very romantic.
You? I don't.
I don't recognize this. They moved. They had to move somewhere. Where's Krista?
Emang ini mana kita koklet ini boleh tahu nari kro mana nari ini boleh sedekah kira kuat mana kalau memang present ciri kuat nari abis datang itu lera hari nampuk kan present.
You're on my island. This is not Ilha Bominal?
Yeah.
I came in a different way.
These Indians, the Karajá, welcomed us warmly. Sam explained to them that he had been here 40 years ago with his film camera, and that now he would show them the footage he had shot. Maybe someone would recognize himself. And if not, that would be okay too. Still, Sam felt a little disappointed because everything looked so different. It was difficult for him to believe that this was even the same place.
Right there is where the plane landed, where that man is walking. Came around like that and stopped. He says, right in front of you, there's all brush. There's nothing here but brush, high brush and all that. Is the village. And when you turn here, none of this is here. No poles, no wire, nothing. No, I can't see the river hardly. All I see are big high brush and trees. Now we start walking, see? And this is my introduction to Karajá. And the first thing I saw, this is all hedges. Everything is much thicker than this. You see that?
Yeah.
Thicker, thicker, thicker. I walked through the clearing, and the first thing I saw were some dogs that came to see me. Dogs. And I kept walking. All brush, brush, brush. and I saw part of a shack, but not like this, a very small one. And then children came out, babies, little children, children. And I walked in, and suddenly I saw other little shacks, it's very small, one shack here, and the people came out. Everything else was hemmed in by trees.
And where did you sleep? In the village?
Yes, and I slept in the chief's house, in the shack. One of these thatch shacks with the family. The most original emotional reaction I ever had, sometime in the middle of the night I wanted to relieve myself, so I got up. They all woke up. They heard me just stand up. And in Karajá, they all wish me good luck. And I think that's a very polite example.
They all woke up?
Of the Karajá, yes. It was wonderful. All this is new to me, and barbed wire, telephone poles and all that stuff. For lights, you see.
Did you learn anything then about their rituals or their religion, their gods?
Yes, their god is nature, 100%. They'll use the stars, the moon, the sun, and all that. And they go by that, and it's part of their life. It goes back to way before we got historians, that nature was the god of most tribes.
When you first arrived, how did they dress? Did they have the...
Oh, no clothes, no clothes.
And they had an elaborate body paint?
Oh, yes, everyone having a different meaning, but they're all naked.
And did they have this perforated lower lip with a stick through?
Yep. And there's no violence here except when a child is kidnapped.
Yeah.
That's when the war chief has to go out and find the child. Because children is the future, like in all metropolitan areas.
What do they do if they catch a kidnapper?
Well, I don't know what this fellow does right now, but in the old days, they would go out, find the man, kill him, and do what they did with the Heroes did. They cut his head off and put it over the top of his entrance, the chief's entrance. And since these people don't believe everybody is evil, we call them bad. They don't. That's their religion. There's at least 10% good in someone, and that head hangs outside their house for 3 days. And the 10% good that's in that son of a bitch, see, goes to the chief. I like that kind of a belief. I like the idea that people don't shit on wives. There's none of that, nothing that we have.
Big moment. This screening would prove if these were really the same people Sam had visited in the summer of 1954. He was nervous, like he was sitting on an anthill, and he was afraid that the whole setup might turn out to be a failure. The Karajá, though, were really excited. success. The Karajá were really surprised to see their relatives and friends alive once again. They thanked Sam.
If they're saying Hollywood, I said they're too late. Hollywood, Hollywood, Hollywood. Oh, that's great.
Sam, this is amazing, man. What a hell of a surprise, but you got to tell me what is behind all of this.
It's not what. It's who. Darryl Zanuck of 20th Century Fox is behind this whole mystery. Does that make sense to you so far? You're a director, you have to have a hint.
Yeah, I got a hint, but you got to tell me more. I want to know.
Well, it all started when he said to me at the studio, he'd read a book by a man called Simel, called Tigrero. And he was interested in the character itself. There was no story. Would I go to a little place called Mato Grosso, which is the biggest jungle in the history of the world and in the heart of Brazil? Would I go? What would you say, for crying out loud? I'm supposed to go there, get an idea of an original, which I've been doing for him for quite a while, and write a screenplay based on something I see and use that as my background for the actual script. Have I lost you?
No.
All right, that's how I worked in Japan and in other countries. And so I came here. I don't want to go in detail how difficult it was for me to get to this place called Ilha de Bonanal. Very difficult. But with luck, in small craft, usually a dust cropping craft, one engine, one wing, one seat, I was forced to climb into the nose behind the pilot. There's a screen there. And there I shot the approach to Mato Grosso, the whole thing. And it goes on forever, and there's no exaggeration of Mato and Grosso. Grosso is big and Mato is trees. That's the whole idea. I also had a pilot from the Brazilian Air Force. It was difficult for me to reach the point I wanted.
You were traveling how? On horseback?
Horseback, originally, I really didn't tell you this before, I was on an ox cart at times. I was on horseback at times. I walked at times, and I flew a lot.
When you were going through this area, through the jungle, what kind of, did you run into wild animals? And
yes, a couple of times.
What did you see? What did you find?
Oh, I saw a wild boar. I saw an anteater that scared the hell out of me. I saw baby cubs of tigers and all that. I've seen that.
Did you go by boat sometimes?
I only took a ride with a couple of natives on the Rio de las Mortes, and I have them in the stuff I shot. Beautiful.
In this river right here, did you see crocodiles?
Well, I'll give you an opportunity to investigate. You can report to me personally if you can drag yourself to me. Yeah. And I came to a village, Karajá. Before that, I thought I'd experiment the Chavantes, which is on the other side of the river. Before all that, I experimented, which is far west, on the Jibaro, which I call the headhunters. It's a question of what excited me for a story.
So when you came down here, was you alone? What did you have with you? You had 16mm camera. What else? You had
Film.
You had film. But you had guns. You had
Rifle
whiskey,
and a Beretta, a pistol.
A rifle and a Beretta.
Yeah.
That was it? Did
That's
you have
it.
a typewriter or
Oh,
anything
no,
to
no,
write?
no.
Did you bring any whiskey,
No,
cigars?
no, he on the plane, he loaded me down with, I don't know, 50, 75 boxes of cigars, a couple of cases of vodka, Polish. Oh, yeah. And I carried a lot of them in my pack. And I traveled light. They performed many ceremonies which I shot. Didn't ask them to do any of them. The first one I shot was the ceremony of a boy becoming a man. And they take the teeth of a piranha and they scrape it down his thighs and his legs. Chief Ata'u, when I came here, you remember me?
Remember?
Do you remember the cigar? I am very happy that both of us are still alive for this interview. Is the custom of a young boy to have the teeth of a piranha go down his thigh and all that? Do you still do that?
Faz. Já tem aí. Eu também marco o rosto, o negócio do corpo.
The markings, they are beautiful. Who does it? A specialist? The woman. Wonderful.
E o que é tudo eu pinto. Pinta de onça, negócio do coelho, tudo do peixe.
Now, when it rains, does it wash away the markings?
Não só 5 dias. E limpava. E limpava agora, hoje só rela. Primeiro, né, tira. Aí passa carvão. Mais 5 dias lá.
Now, how old does a baby have to be? 2 months old, 1 month old, when it's allowed some painting on them?
Que é, hoje, antigamente só 5 dias, 4 dias.
This tree is indisputable evidence. Sam was definitely here 40 years ago.
You just saw the film of the 2 boys with the bow and arrows.
Acabei de ver.
Do you remember their names?
Cuberenos. É o Iroá.
And he played as a boy with those 2 boys.
Brincamos.
How old were they when they died?
Daí não me lembro não, morreu muito tempo, né? Ele morreu até meu tempo mesmo.
Tell me something about one of the boys, what kind of a boy he was. Let's take the first one, Kuburan.
O Bereno, ele era meio triste mesmo. Mas ele é bom pessoa, um rapazinho. O outro era mais alegre, né? Alegre e gosta de brincar, né? Com a flechinha, tudo.
2 contrasts.
Assim, um é mais alegre, um é mais triste mesmo, mesmo.
No family.
Tinha uma família, assim.
Sam had found the past, and I started to get interested in the present, the way these people live today. The Karajá are river Indians. They depend on the river. Some hundreds of years ago, they left their homes in the Andes, which today is part of Peru, and started moving east along the river Amazon, and finally ended up here, at the river Araguaia, in the heart of Brazil. The river is the source of life for them. It feeds them, and when they want to buy something, they go and catch a fish and sell it for money. So the river is like their bank. They're also agricultural and eat fruit. They sell handcrafts to the whites to make some extra money to buy rice, clothes, bicycles, TVs.
Nada be kuri wan ha kuri kiri siwara ha be kuri kari kata kuri on na jirat peskat bagak bang jak kedua kuri wan ha kini ini be kata wan no terus sara coba tadi coba cuan te akak kuri wan ha kiri be.
This woman became a symbol of all Indians in the entire country when they printed her picture on the bill. This fame, though, doesn't interest her. Instead, she wants to stay in her village and try to help her people preserve their own culture. She tells the myths and legends to the younger ones so that they'll learn about their origins and their traditions.
Nós não temos uma educação escrita que nos determinasse ou ensinasse na sala de aula ou qualquer coisa. Nós temos uma formação que vem de nossas famílias, nossos pais, nossos avós, que nos transmitem, então, nossos destinos e questão de ser índio, até de ser homem na vida, ou mesmo a mulher. Então, se a gente realmente não der ouvido para aqueles velhos, ou as velhas, nós estaríamos perdidos. O que a gente realmente tem lutado é manter o máximo possível para que a gente preserve mais a nossa cultura, a nossa língua, a nossa dança. Na época da colônia, o governo brasileiro queria que nós fôssemos um escravo deles. Na República, o governo brasileiro queria que nós virássemos um branco de um dia para outro. Aí colocou um hospital, a escola, hotel, maquinários, e o que... isso com que o índio ficou no meio da história, mais ou menos, que sem como viver com aquilo. E passado mais ou menos 30, 40 anos que hoje temos com a civilização branca, com esse contato direto, e hoje nos resta nos defender. Mas defender como? Aprender alguma coisa do branco. Ir na escola.
Paciente foi corte demechando, ontem na costa fundo. Está reclamando muita dores. Ver se corta alguma coisa.
Diaran bihelduma rabireri, bihelde rareri borbe, bihelde rara irarua. Quer dizer, embaixo. Aqui é em português. O Veré falou, a moça falou, eu estou vendo o avião. O avião vem de cima. O avião vai para baixo. Nós começamos a alfabetizar nossas crianças com nossa língua, primeiro, né? Karajá. Segundo, português. Duas línguas ao mesmo tempo. Nós queremos aprender do branco as coisas boas e não ficar morando na cidade. Que se as pessoas, os índios que começam a morar na cidade, aprendem as coisas ruins, como o branco faz, né? Nós não queremos fazer isso, não. Por isso nós estamos ensinando as crianças para não acontecer.
Toward the end of the 50s, the president, Kubitschek, opened a hotel very close to the Indian village. During the day, the prominent guests could visit the savages, and at night they could spend their money in the casino of the hotel. That's how the Karajá learned about the power of the dollar. Some years ago, when the hotel was closed for the rainy season, an Indian went to look for honey in the empty hotel. In order to drive away the angry bees, he set some fires inside the hotel. The result was that the whole place burned down. The building, all the cars, the jeeps, everything. During the military dictatorship, the army opened an airstrip here, only a few hundred meters from the Karajá village. 20,000 soldiers were stationed here, in order to find the 59 left-wing guerrillas who were hiding in the area. Eventually they were found and killed. Military base, hospital, big hotel. It's amazing that the Karajás are still alive after all the aggression they've suffered from the outside.
So that man was your father?
Sim.
Did you like the whole movie I made in your village?
Eu gostei demais, eu fiquei até contente e matou meu sentimento também. Gostei demais.
Well, that's called emotion.
O meu sentimento é que eu sempre sentia assim, depois que eu perdi ele, sinto muito falta dele, sabe? Então, como que eu vi a foto dele, fiquei muito contente mesmo que eu vi assim, maior triste que eu já ganhei. Assim foi tudo bom demais para mim. Eu gostaria que se vendo e como era antes, sabe, quando ele era vivo, sabe? Então, e gente, quando eu vendo ele assim fazendo movimentação, assim que eu fiquei sempre pensando que é o vivo mesmo, sabe?
What happened to him?
Meu pai ele morreu assim atacando de jacaré, que ele matou ele.
Where did this happen?
Esse aí foi no lago lá embaixo, que uma vez ele foi pescar na pescaria, sabe? Ele estava com 2 pessoas, colega dele. O outro estava armando e ele estava pilotando a canoa, sabe? Então, como era raso, assim foi por cima do jacaré. E o jacaré ficou zangado quando a canoa estava passando do jacaré. Aí o jacaré boiou, pegou aqui bem na cabeça, assim, do pescoço.
You remember me with my cigar and camera 40 years ago? You saw the film. You recognized your husband?
Mama badara rere mateng. Badara rere. Jangan mama mesti kira hang le. Ibe nama dem. Mama wah sangkong mana dem. Wah sanjong kong. Kalau ada katakan nada si daru dem. Cara katakan wajib katakan.
So what I want. How do you say lonely in Karajás?
Korek lewat banyak kuat babi deh doi deh kekyu nana i deh man mama man.
The rituals help the Karajá to protect their own culture. This is the dance of fertility. It has remained unchanged for centuries. The girls rub their bellies while the men dance around them, a prayer to nature that they will have babies.
Let's get a big high one now. Come on. You can do it. You look beautiful enough to do it. Holy moly, she did it.
There it is.
Great. Oh, great. That's the comeback now. Look at that. Bingo. Ah, she and it's true. You can cut anytime. And what makes a story is a character, and you know that better than anything else. And a character that's fresh. And in this story that Zanuck wanted me to make based on that book, just the title. He brought a title. It's called Tigrero. And a Tigrero is a man like an American bounty hunter for a criminal or an outlaw. Only in this case, the bounty is generally a tigra, and a tigra in this country is a jaguar. It's 300 pounds of lightning, and it's a marauder. It goes to where there's a ranch, takes a calf, sometimes a whole cow, sometimes a Brahma bull. This is the story of a woman who's in love with her husband who was in prison in Rio, or in the outskirts of prison. And she kills guards. She bribes guards. She bribes guards in the prison, and she kills, and she escapes. You see, she escapes with it. And she escapes into the outskirts of this village. And there are people loading, there's a dock, there's a river there. And they load and unload. And they're barefoot, and they're carrying sacks of something. I shot back. That's where she's taking her husband. They'll jump. They're being followed. I got a shot of people swimming, so I know where I'll do it. By doing that, I got the idea of an escape, that's all. And she has made a deal with a Tigrero. That's the star of your picture. And she wants to cross the Mato Grosso. No one will ever follow her. And no plane will try to find her. They do not fly over the Mato Grosso unless they're an idiot like I was. The idea is that I use as many things as I can, including the 7 falls, which I understand now is changed. And the biggest is Devil's Throat. He's coughing, and there's so much foam that from the air in that plane, all I saw was white smoke. It wasn't smoke. It was water coming out. I think you would love that right away.
Yeah.
And I'll go later if I feel like it. That's used in the scene. But the thing is, a wife has rescued her husband, and they're in the hands of a man who knows the jungle, and he's going to cross the jungle with them. A lot of it takes place in this village, a lot of it. I even have some of the villagers go along in my script because they know certain shortcuts that my Tigrero does not know, shortcuts that nobody can observe them. That's in my script. Now, I've seen many pictures where a girl and her husband go to the African jungle, and the husband is lost, and the wife goes to a great hunter. There's usually Clark Gable. Will you please help me find my husband? And while they're going, they fall in love. That's the story. That was made about 25 times in Hollywood. Yeah. That story. The last one was made at Fox. So this is, and I write original stories. Now, the punch of the whole story, that all this is told, the whole last part of the story is told in a jungle, here, but in the river. There are certain times of season I would have to come to shoot that. where it's a big island, a tremendous island, and it's floating down the Amazon. So as it's going and the story progresses, there's a lot of land, there are a lot of trees. Finally, you see animals jumping on that island. They know they don't want to drown. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So I have nature as one of the major characters in the story. So there are 4 characters.
And the island is disintegrating.
Very little. It's great. It's just great.
Wow. I know from talking to you before how you work, and I know you were down here to find your story from images you encountered. Did you find an idea that really hit you for maybe for the opening or for the end of the film?
Oh, yes. There is a shot that I took of many, many crocodiles and many comedies. But there is a shot I took, a good question, and it's a bird, a white bird coming down through swampy water. And the snout of a croc comes up and grabs it. Matter of fact, I got a couple of shots grabbing these birds. It gave me the idea to have a bird, beautiful, white, coming down the water. A crocodile attacks it, smashes it, starts eating another crocodile, fights this crocodile, and they go crazy over that big white bird. And they're bleeding, and I want to follow the bleed downstream to a school of piranha. They taste the blood, and I follow them right back, no cuts. And they attack the 2 crocodiles. And as within 30 seconds to a minute, they are reduced to skeletons. Another white bird comes and flies over and grabs the piranha and flies off with it. That's man eat man, it's animal eat man. It's the opening of my script and it's the ending of the script.
Wow.
Now, Zanuck, I came back, I wrote it. He went crazy about it and immediately cast it. And it was John Wayne was going to be, he's not a fox player. John Wayne is going to be the Tigrero. Ava Gardner is going to be the wife. And a big star at 20th Century Fox in those days was Tyrone Power. He came into my office. He says, I know about that script. I want to play that weak son of a bitch of a husband. I'm tired of playing a hero. We're waiting for action.
Sam, did you ever see a real Tigrero in action?
Yep. Emmanuel. We made the movie. John Wayne would play the part. Well, there's a lot of them around here. Here, I'll show you what he did. The dogs are barking. They're going like hell. After them.
After the jaguar?
The jaguar's after them right now. He's spotted. He stands up like this. The jaguar sees him tall, and he forgets his dog. Now he's going fast, 300 pounds, and he puts it down like that into the ground, and he holds it. And he waits and waits and waits, and the jaguar jumps right at him, and he goes right through the body. Wham! Right up there. This guy pulls it back like that again, and wham! He does it again, right like this. And the jaguar leaps, and he gets his aim, wham! Right through the heart. That's a Tigrero.
Impaled. Jaguar's impaled?
Killed and dead. Second
Why
one.
don't they just shoot it?
He doesn't want a gun. If the gun jams, the Tigrero is dead. He hates guns.
I see.
No Tigrero ever likes a firearm around him. He never trusts a weapon. He only trusts that 12 inches of steel. Now, that's very dangerous. Wayne loved it. It was in his script. He saw himself. He would have been the trainer, Emmanuel. He's black, he's brown, and he's Indian. He's over 80. In the course of telling the story, I attacked love in a different kind of a way, which I think is very honest. And in this case, the wife was in trouble at one time, and the husband knew physically if he went to help her, there's a chance he would die too in the situation. And he didn't go. By luck, she grabs something and hangs on and works herself up the area. She won't talk to him. She feels like killing him. She killed and bribed guards at the prison That's how much he loves this man, and now he wouldn't even make a move to save her. And the Tigrero says to her, you are wrong. He loves you very much. I've watched both of you. He loves you as much as you love him. And the only difference is he's honest in his emotional love. He loves himself just a little bit more than he loves you. The wife goes crazy. The husband denies it. And the Tigrero says, that's life, that's civilization. Now they continue their adventures, all adventures, action adventures. My dream was to pick up a couple of scouts to flank their trek. Karajá, 2 or 4. Oh, I knew what I wanted, but it's in the script. Anyway, what happens in the whole thing this way is the husband gets into a jam, you see. She looks at him and she feels the same emotion, and she doesn't do a thing, and he gets killed. She's in jeopardy in the 3rd act. And he doesn't save her, like Tigrero. Because it's the same thing. He goes by that law. His life is more important to him than her life.
Is he in love with her?
No love. There is nothing like that. I would take my name off it, even if they even touched hands. Are you kidding?
The Karajá don't have books or movie theaters or rock and roll. They do have their own forms of entertainment, though. This show they call the Monkey Man. How did you feel about those actors? Are there certain characteristics, qualities they had that really fit the characters?
Oh, yeah, sure. You get a man like Wayne where he's a Tigrero, you believe it, you see. And the girl was full of piss and vinegar that Ava Gardner in real life, and she could do it. She could kill a man. She could bribe a man to get her husband out of that damn prison. And all that love that she has for him reversed instantly when he didn't try to save her life. So it was cast beautifully.
So what finally happened? Why was the project? First, let me ask you, how did the actors feel about coming to film in the Amazon?
Tremendous, higher than a kite. Zanuck only told the line, and to Wayne, he said, I want to do it. See? And Zanuck is a man who acts out things. You know, you have a pole and a jaguar is charging you. Wayne said, that's for me, that's for me. So it worked out very nicely. The important thing that he wanted to see on the screen was those areas I picked, and there will be maybe 50 others I'll pick around it that might be better. This was just an example. This was my idea to take the movie camera and photograph it to show the crew. And the crew gets very, very familiar with the area, not still shots, the area. Yeah. And everything went fine, and he got his publicity in the trades and all that. But the insurance company would not insure it. Why not? The Zanuck, as a matter of fact, he ran all the stuff I shot, and I was in the projection room. And he said, there's nothing dangerous about it. Here's the man. He's here in one piece, and he shot it, the Zanuck. the man began saying, well, in this scene and in that scene in the script, Wayne does this, Wayne does that, Gardner does this and that. Why don't you shoot around maybe Sao Paulo or so? And then I got very angry. Don't you ever tell me where to shoot a picture. And that insurance company was a very big insurance company who had insured 20th Century Fox pictures. So he said, I don't need you, and he called another insurance company. And that insurance company said the same thing because I forgot the exact amount, between 6 and 7 for John. $1 million in case he's killed. Power had just 2 or 3 million short of that, let's say 5, and Gardner had about 3 million. It came to, I don't know, $15, $18 million. And they don't want to insure that kind of a gamble. So he said, the hell with the whole goddamn thing, that's all.
So you had these amazing casts, John Wayne, Ava Gardner, Tyrone Power.
And the Karajá, I would use them.
And the amazing Karajá, these incredible locations. How did you feel when you found out because of these insurance companies, the whole project was terminated?
Well, sure, you can make another picture like that, but it's a kind of a TV approach. You talk about the jungle, but you don't see it much, you see. No, I lost, not hope or faith, I lost interest in it the minute he said, forget it.
Sam, I know that in a few cases, some of your personal footage or stuff you've shot yourself has ended up in other pictures. And I also know that some of the footage of the Karajá finds its way into Shot Corridor. I wondered if you could just talk about how that came about.
Yeah, well, usually I shot in CinemaScope, and I tried to, when I write a script, I'll put down W. That means in my mind, I would like to get a weird flavor of the film.
W's for weird.
For weird. Oh, yeah, some reminder. Now when we were shooting, I come right to the W, and my assistant knows what it means, and my cameraman knows what it means. And they say, well, what are we going to shoot? Nothing. Nothing. W is for me, when the picture's over, I'll put it in. And Chuck Corridor, whatever the hell, it's a crazy house. Yeah. He saw this, he saw trains. I have a train going this way and a train going that way, like that. And the Seven Falls, we were flying over it, and I saw a white smoke coming up, that's all. And so when the man is in an insane asylum, that came in very, very handy to me, because one man is sitting, this is in a hospital, and he puts his hand up, and you see water drop. Water.
Such a sour note, John. You are way off key.
That is beautiful, and it is weird, because it looks like smoke.
And I took advantage. The most important thing is in the insane asylum story, Shot Corridor, it's black and white, and every insane person, man, woman, or child, and I lived in many hospitals, nut houses, I have. And they're helpless, there's nothing here. But every one of them, according to the doctors of all the hospitals I was in, they will have maybe a minute or two of being sane. They'll actually sit and talk. Now, how am I going to tell the audience that he's now sane?
America for Americans! America for Americans! Keep our schools white.
Keep them white. That's right. Keep them white.
I'm against Catholics.
Hallelujah, man. Hallelujah.
Against Jews.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Against niggers.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Against niggers.
Hallelujah.
Against niggers.
Hallelujah.
That's one. Let's get that black boy before he marries my daughter.
Hallelujah.
August 30th, 1954. Wednesday, August 30th, 1954. The U.S. Supreme Court decreed the nation's schools must be racially desegregated with all deliberate speed. I'm a boy in the Amazon jungle. A brown boy, not a black boy. And someone is scraping my thigh with the teeth of the piranha fish to change my blood to white blood. I'm a boy in the Amazon jungle. A brown boy, not a black boy. And someone is scraping my thigh with the teeth of the piranha fish to change my blood to white blood. August 30th, 1954. The U.S. Supreme Court decreed a ceremonial dance to be racially desegregated with all deliberate speed. Wednesday, August 30th, 1954. The U.S. Supreme Court decreed a ceremonial dance to be racially desegregated with all deliberate speed. It's the KKK. Run, run. Run for your life, Trent. I can't see his face. Here comes the KKK. Run, run. Run for your life, Trent. I can't see his face. I can't see his face. Here comes the KKK. Run. Run. I can't see his face. I can't see his face. Run, Trent. Run. Run, run, run! Always in color. It's that same nightmare, always in color.
Boom, 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 boom. And they come in closer and closer, and he wakes. Ah! It came in, and because everybody, every critic knew, because they hid their faces. See, the cowards are the KKK. They're chicken, you see, and it worked. I had 3 or 4 sequences in there in color.
Yeah, strong.
That lets you know when the minute it's black and white, he's right back at 6. That's all. So the camera, film is very important of using it to tell a story, not to photograph it. Do you see this? You can do that with a still camera. That's it. I was lucky with the location shots.
Yeah, it's very strong. Something else that's different about your work with your contemporaries in the Hollywood studio system was your adventuring to exotic or faraway locations instead of shooting on a sound stage or in a back lot. You've shot in Germany and Japan, you came to Brazil, you shot in the Philippines, in Israel. Can you tell me a little bit about what drove you to be different in that way, to go to real places like that?
Well,
to get what you wanted to?
Oh, yeah, but I forgot which picture it was. But let me tell you about one. I may be interested in location. We have a great, unforgettable thing in the United States called Grand Canyon. Everybody try to make a picture in the Grand Canyon. Studios with a lot of money mean nothing because it's several miles down and it's that narrow. You can't shoot. And the only time I heard of a man, and I met him, who made a picture called Grand Canyon, the picture is about a man who came from the Grand Canyon. That's all, and they called it Grand Canyon. When a director goes on location, and especially if you wrote the thing, even what you found the first time or second time, scouting location, always there's something that's different that comes up that only on location you will see. You don't make up anything.
So Sam, have you felt, you're often referred to as an outsider in the Hollywood system. Have you felt that way throughout your career, through your work?
Yes, many stories, I didn't deliberately aim for that, encompassed what is wrong with the United States. That began with reviews like an outsider, see, or a radical, or whatever the hell it is, and that's all horseshit. Everything I shot was factual, like on a newspaper. But in the genre where you say an outsider or a rebel and all that crap, it's the story that they're talking about, not me, the story. But that's what I mean when it's outsider. It's something that they don't do in the studio. The average guy writes a good book, a good story, and shoots it. And the newspaper background in me gave me the heart on it. Yeah. Is to have this on the screen and all that. That's all.
The big lie is often the theme of your films.
Yes, it is. It is. Shot Corridor every 2 days. I turned it down because the dialogue. Every studio. Oh yeah. Oh, every studio turned down even the steel helmet.
Did your experience here, when you came here 40 years ago, in some way that you're conscious of, affect your life or change the way you see things?
Oh, 100%. The customs of these people is something I never saw, didn't read about, didn't believe. They're way ahead of us. All those kids playing, all of them generating their own entertainment. They don't need outsiders. They don't have to have money, although the chief said now that they've grown up. And a crucero means something, that they can get a T-shirt, you see, usually from the States or caps of the New York Yankees. It doesn't bother me if the kids like it. But that whole change, as far as I'm concerned, is alien to me concerning the Karajá.
You know, it's so great watching their dances and their rituals and seeing all the laughter and joy, so unlike our kind of religious experiences in Catholicism or Judaism. It's not really, everything's so serious. You know, I liked so much seeing how joyful they were.
Well, I was told there by the chief 40 years ago that when those girls rub their bellies in that dance and the people are wearing those stocks dancing in front of them, she doesn't know she's praying, or she doesn't know she's speaking, but she's asking nature to give her a baby. That's beautiful.
So nature is like their spirit, their God.
It is their God, although they don't know what God is. We don't either, but we get away with murder.
What is God to you?
Nature. I know in the war, every dog face was only worried about one thing, death. I never met one that wanted to go to heaven. I never met one that 3 years who believed in heaven. They all knew that right 10 feet away are 4 dead men, see? And it's Sicily, and it's very hot. And they have big humps on their wrists of meat. Their flesh is turning, it's burnished. The reason there's a ring there on there, that's covering a watch. Yeah, when you see that, and generally the people you see are after a fight are not like in movies, you see, they're blown up by bullets, the intestines are there, the shit is there, all that stuff. So nobody there is, in one chance in a million is thinking of God save me. It's 1 chance in 10 billion. The only thing that can save him is that the guy on the left or right, he gets hit instead of you. And there's nothing wrong in a religion. If somebody really believes it, and there is a heaven, I think it's wonderful. So if you can convince me that I'm going to go to heaven and see girls in bikinis, you're going to have a tough guy to convince. That's all I can tell you.
Earlier you described to me this amazing opening sequence you had in mind, and also for the end of Tigrero. The bird comes down, crocodile eats bird, piranha eat crocodile, bird eats piranha. Right. It's a kind of circular, it's a kind of symbol of man and nature that appears
Yeah,
in all of your, in many of
to
your
me,
films.
it's actually a symbol of we accept animals, birds and all that to do certain things because we are the viewers. But that, I want to open that out because that's the story of mankind. Nothing else. Don't call it just civilization. And over the history of mankind, that has repeated itself.
One marks the sun, the other the moon.
Hey, Jim! Boat's ready to leave. Take us to the airport. Jim, what the hell is going on?
Sammy, I got a surprise for you this time. I'm not leaving.
Are you on dead level?
I'm gonna stay here for a while.
You on dead level?
Yeah, I'm on dead level. I want to stay here. You take care of yourself.
Okay, if that's the way you want it.
Hey, Sam. Come back and pick me up in about 40 years, all right?
Of course I will. I sure as hell will. If I'm alive. Good luck, Karajá.
All right, you too. I'll see you then.
Goodbye.
Take care, Sam.
Goodbye. A lot of fun coming back here after 40 years. I had a lot of fun. Now I have to go back to the uncivilized world. I'll see you at MGX.